In my experience, there are 3 kinds of inspiration. Becoming more aware of these has been very useful. Understanding their different sources and effects allows me to consciously seek out the inspiration I need for a given moment or situation. I have termed these 3 types as 1. Indirect inspiration, 2. Direct inspiration, and 3. Spontaneous inspiration. I will describe each type, where they come from for me, how they can be used, and have questions for you. First, indirect inspiration. I think of it as an overflowing of energy that inspires us to put that energy into creative acts. Where do I get this kind of inspiration? I feel this when I go for walks, when I am in nature, and especially around plants. I'm not a houseplant person. I'm only around plants outside. Maybe I should get some houseplants for my art space. I also can get this feeling from music, not always, but definitely sometimes. Now for me, this drive to create is usually linked with a feeling of joy, uplifted spirits, excitement, lightness, positive feelings. This type of inspiration is good for when you don't feel the energy to create, when you don't feel like bothering at all, when you are apathetic, when you feel blah. So what experiences give you that overflowing energy and drive to create? What emotions drive you to create? The second type is direct inspiration. Direct inspiration is specific ideas or techniques you want to try out. Now, this is what triggered this whole contemplation for me. I thought to myself, art does not inspire me to make art. But of course I do like art, and I like to look at art. And I realized it does inspire me in specific ways. I think it's natural to see art and want to try different aspects of what someone else has created. I'm not talking about copying. I'm talking about trying out just a nugget of something you see, like a color combination, a technique, medium or method, a pattern or shape, scale, texture, subject matter. There are so many ways another artist's work can inspire us to try something new. And this inspiration can be found anywhere, not just in your own medium and not just in art. I get this type of inspiration from nature as well. I see specific patterns or textures I want to reproduce constantly when I'm outside. I get inspired by paintings, ceramics, clothing, design, preschoolers' art, anything. So how should we use this type of inspiration? Well, it's probably obvious. Direct inspiration is good to use when you feel blocked. You're sitting ready and excited to create but have no idea what to make. This is a great time to seek out direct inspiration. Some specific things I want to try out right now are the subject matter of caves. I'm constantly seeing patterns and shapes in nature I want to mimic. I'll take photos and save them on my phone. And I see color palettes from other artists or fashion designers that I want to try. I have a Pinterest board dedicated to color combinations. What techniques, compositions, or subject matters are you inspired to try out right now? Are there places, mediums, ideas, specific artists that you regularly draw inspiration from? And now, lastly, spontaneous inspiration. Spontaneous inspiration is that spark of an idea that seemingly comes out of nowhere. So where the heck does it come from if it comes from nowhere? And how can we seek it out if it doesn't have a clear source? Well, in this case, I will talk about the environment you can create to make yourself fertile for spontaneous inspiration. I think this type of inspiration is what Elizabeth Gilbert talks about in Big Magic. Ideas independently floating around the universe, looking for the right host to bring it into fruition, to actualize it. So we must become good hosts for these ideas. Picasso has a famous quote that I've mentioned before. He says, "Inspiration exists, but it has to find you working." Working at your craft, honing your skills, making yourself open and available through the act of creation. If you want to create a new, groundbreaking type of fiction, then write. If you want to have a breakthrough with your painting, then paint. This inspiration is the inspirational gold, unique sparks of genius, aha moments. But it can also be quiet whispers from our intuition. It doesn't have to be universally groundbreaking work. Sometimes it's just internal whispers saying, try this. While I was making this collage, I was listening to a hand drum compilation on YouTube. I just wanted something to help me focus and tune out my son's movie in the background. While listening, I kept getting this peaceful image in my mind of stars gently falling. So while I was making the collage, I went with it. The collage does not look like what I saw. I wasn't trying to replicate it. I just went with the mood and feeling I got from the image in my mind. And I'm happy with how it turned out. So we use these spontaneous sparks of inspiration by acting on them. Don't ignore them or dismiss them. Listen to them. Even if it's not totally clear, just start leaning into it. What moments of spontaneous inspiration have you experienced? Do you find it hard or difficult to listen to these? What area of your life do you want to receive more spontaneous inspiration? Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts about inspiration. Do you agree with my categorization? Or is there a type or situation I didn't think of? What are some different ways you get inspired?